Today you will witness the rise and fall of my furniture empire. I played SCP 3008 for 24 hours straight and allowed my subscribers to play along with me, meaning they had the choice to build and survive alongside me or cause chaos and destruction. I will be going over this journey from beginning to end. Enjoy. Hour 1 started off pretty strong with... Oh, this is a blood moon. It started shortly after I set up my recording, and so I was forced to stack up to the nearest platform I could find. Was I safe? Anyway, I grabbed some food, entertainment, and began working on the early foundations of my base. Fun fact, we live solely on sugar and caffeine. We don't sleep. The next 20 minutes or so consisted of my fans locating and joining me as I grabbed anything that looked like a decent platform to stand on, as well as just wandering around. Banana. Toaster. Wow. Since people are finding me, they are creating more ways to get up, so my original method of blocking the entrance doesn't work since people keep falling down. This means employees also now have access to our base. So I did what I do best and ignored the problem and let someone else figure the issue out. Anyway, the first stranger talked to us and asked if we wanted to merge with them, so we responded with kindness. Hour 2, I have discovered that the toilet flushes. I decided our empire should have a bridge that connects with the pillar, the idea being that we continue to expand very high up. Meanwhile, my subscribers have erected the food pillar, created a simple parkour system to enter the base, and helped me expand my territory to its absolute maximum. Everything was starting to come together. Of course, the base floor was being created out of random furniture, which wasn't my favorite thing in the world. That's when I remember the most amazing building material in the game: pallets. And so I discovered my true purpose in life, searching for areas with pallets so I can bring them to our base, allowing us to have nice square platforms to work with instead of furniture with varying shapes and sizes. Hour 3, my subscribers have begun to randomly roleplay scenes not suitable for children. Luckily, I could ignore them, for I have found the motherlode of pallets. It was an abandoned base with pallets and ladders everywhere, which is perfect for my expanding base. So I took it upon myself to bring the pallets over to my base one by one and let my subscribers expand the base for me, as they share my ambitions for creating an empire. Although some people did help me carry pallets, this obviously is a time-consuming task. It's so time-consuming that the majority of my time playing this game ended up with me collecting pallets to add to my base, but it was for a worthy cause. We started expanding up the pillar, and the rest of the hour 3 consisted of me bringing pallets over and collecting food to keep my energy up. In order to save precious time, I even began to ignore nighttime and carried pallets over 24/7. That all being said, I'm going to go ahead and start going through my time spent here a little faster, so I'm not going into detail of every individual pallet I've collected and named. His name is Jerry. Hour 4, we have collected enough pallets and furniture to expand upwards to the height of the hanging signs. We haven't really done anything besides make a long path towards something. Hour 5, I have installed a toilet on one of the signs. I live here now. My subscribers were kind enough to give me privacy by taking away the only pathway out. Hour 6, the Holy GameCube Shrine has been erected in our base. Found more pallet locations, my subscribers began to find more ways to torment each other, and a flop family member joined me in pallet conquesting. Hour 7, I have decided to actually do something with this path since it had no purpose and created a living room of sorts. We will slowly add more to this room, but for now this is what we have. It was so comfy that I spent half an hour or so having a spa day in it. Okay, so that was a lie. I was actually eating since I haven't eaten anything all day and was pretty hungry at this point. Sue me. With a tummy full of food and a new dedicated pallet collector on my team, we went off to collect more pallets for our empire. At this time, it was starting to get late, so most of my subscribers were getting off for the night, meaning it was starting to become my responsibility to actually do something with the pallets I collect. I also started taking small security measures, like moving the GameCubes further down the path so they were not stolen by strangers, since I had far less people to defend my base from intruders than before. Now, this is the 11th hour, but it took my stupid self a long time to realize the time is cropped out, so please try your best to ignore my amateur mistakes, as it took me 3 hours to finally realize the time is cropped out like this. Anyway. There were some NPCs who broke entirely. They don't move, they don't hurt you, they just sit there. So we decided that it would be pretty neat to bring them up to the living room to spend their days instead of outside, and voila, we have an employee in the living room. And a friend. Honestly, I love that we did this. It adds such a unique touch to our living space that I'm sure not many players even think of attempting to accomplish, especially in a base so high up and away from everything. My next objective was to make a second room, as just having one isn't really all that grand, so you know what must be done. Hello, base. Goodbye, base. Now, it's about 2 AM at this point, so there weren't really many people around in my group aside from literally 2 people. Unfortunately, things can't be positive forever. Enter the main antagonist. This guy Bojo really didn't take long to try and be annoying for his own entertainment, but alas, I knew from the beginning there would be someone who would come along and show zero empathy towards us despite knowing exactly who I am. Perhaps it's because he knows who I am that he decided to act this way. But nonetheless, the only real thing you can do with trolls in this game is ignore them. If you show that you care or give a good reaction, that only tempts them to do more. Unfortunately for me, one of the friends I did have online still was the type to react to these kinds of things. And so he showed zero interest in leaving anytime soon. His pranks grew more obvious, became more destructive, and soon he would probably do something bad to the base my subscribers and I have worked on for so long. I mean, come on. This is basically a telltale sign to stop interacting with him if he's willing to say this in chat. So, in order to protect the base and give myself a break from the game, I decided after putting up with his antics for long enough to tower up to a spot you can't see me, and I went to go shower. The plan worked. It looks like he spent most of his time searching for me instead of destroying the base, and I came back to him AFK. He left shortly after. At this point, it had already been a few hours, and I've honestly made negative progress because of him and his destructive personality, but having some peace is nice. So I did some basic repairs and went back to doing my thing. About an hour or so later, I found another GameCube. I decided to hide it after everything we went through so I can at least say that I have this if the base ever blows up. I also took the opportunity to give a miniature tour of the base, since at this time all of my subscribers I have in Europe are waking up. The old area we started in became essentially the entrance to the base, requiring you to slide in order to actually enter. There's a second little blockade here, I'm guessing for assurance? I don't know, I didn't make it. The pillar contains several stories, most of which is practically empty since I did end up removing half of the shrine so I can protect the GameCubes. Then, at the top, we have a very long floating pathway that leads to the living room and a few of us ended up making. Unfortunately, the troll removed the NPCs and the medkits and stuff like that, but most of it is still intact. Replacing the NPCs, we have some human who just sits there and occasionally collects food. I honestly have no idea who they are because I don't think they've even communicated with me. Anyway, there's an upstairs that isn't finished and a bathroom I for some reason never opened the door to. Then we have a second room with 2 stories as well. I guess you can also call it a living room. I don't know why I never made it into a bedroom or something, but whatever, I guess. It exists. It's also not finished, but it's where the GameCubes currently reside since it is the farthest from the entrance and therefore probably the safest. There is so much I believe that can be done with this base, but with it being hour 16, I'm not sure what we can accomplish with the remaining time. Anyway, with my feelings out of the way, I continue working on the... Oh no. He's back. But he's not back to just doing the same boring trolling he did. Oh no. He's learned my subscribers' torture methods. I've done all I could, but now it's time for war. I think we all know how this war is going to end. A lot of things happened. I knew I wouldn't just be able to get away from this all. I mean, I'm stuck playing this game for 24 hours, right? I evaded him for a while, juked him, teased him, and the base got involved. 3 subscribers chased me into the living room. I managed to kill all 3, but they eventually came back. I would find ways to kill them or evade their bathtub trolling, and they would find solutions to them with destruction. I say they, but only one of them had the destructive solutions. Bojo. Someone decided to make the living room ceiling out of bathtubs, so the only real way I can stop the constant harassment is to just toss them off the base until... Oh. I merged with the bathtub. I've become the bathtub. Fear my powers, peasants, for I have become a being you cannot fathom. It is I, the bathtub lord, eater of humans, destroyer of IKEA furniture. I seriously don't know how this happened, but it was a funny thing to come across in the midst of trolling. See, trolling doesn't have to be just about making other people suffer. You can just have fun and mess around. Everyone will be happy. Right, Bojo? Bojo, no. Bad dog! Bad dog! Yeah. Yeah. It was bound to happen. You can't kick people, so if someone decides they want to destroy your base, well, you can only delay the inevitable at that point. Maybe my subscribers that were helping me didn't realize it, but I knew it. If it wasn't Bojo, it would have been someone else. That's just how it is on Roblox. They disregard how other players feel for their own enjoyment. This toxic personality is shown on pretty much every game. As you might have guessed, he left shortly after, as there isn't anything to do once you destroy someone's hard work. I'm not mad, really, just disappointed. Anyway, that's in the past now. My subscribers decided to build a new fort purely out of bathtubs. I think they have an obsession at this point, but whatever. I spent time trying to find one of my prized possessions, the curved TV, and became a shut-in, scrolling through channels until I find one I love. Like Maxwell here. I like to feed Maxwell, he's such a good kid. So I found a new home for this TV since they ruined my happiness. Cookie Monster isn't really a kitty, but it's a close second. Since he loves to eat cookies, I can respect that. So I think I'll stick with this channel. Sometimes in life, you must make the choice to downgrade some things to gain peace. I will live here, away from everyone, with Mr. Lemon, and it will be nice. Isn't that right, Mr. Lemon? I'm in a nice cozy home, offered him food, and I have someone else here now. That's okay, she won't steal my things. Maybe. I'll just adjust this place for 2 people and, okay, a 3rd person. This isn't gonna be a small group anymore, I see. I guess I can upgrade the living space to be a bit bigger. And you know, it's not so bad hanging out with everyone and watching Thomas the Soulless train together. See? If it wasn't Bojo, it just wasn't meant to be. Back at the bathtub shack, they have more TVs. Wow. My friends were starting to join back after their slumber at this point, and Weston here decided to do something with all of the pallets that are now just sitting around. What a neat idea. I'm very tired though. Don't really feel like trying to make letters with pallets. He mocked me. Yeah, I don't think that's quite the letter N. Is that a 2? He was pretty quick to take back his words at least. Well, with a lot of pallet collection and a lot of time, we actually went past the 24-hour mark. Here it is. And you know, I'm proud of us for bouncing back after the base destruction and making this beautiful work of art. Now please, can you stop chasing me with bathtubs?